stand for the national anthem. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. At this time, it is my privilege to introduce to you our superintendent, Dr. Kevin Skinkis.
Good evening and welcome. Welcome graduates, parents, guardians, family and friends, community members to the commencement ceremony for the Riverside Brookfield High School class of 2012. At this time, I would like to introduce the District 208 Board of Education. President Matt Cindy, Gary Gritchen, Dan Moon, Tim Walsh, Mike Welch, and not present tonight are Miss Laura Haruska and Mr. John Keene, who are unable to attend tonight. I'd also like to introduce the principal of Riverside Brookfield High School, Miss Pam Bilesma. And before I get started tonight, I would also like to honor, we have 4 retirees from our faculty that have had a fabulous career at Riverside Brookfield High School, and I'd ask that they please stand after I announce their name. Miss Jan Goldberg. Mr. Kevin McGogan. Mr. George Miller. And Mr. Bruce Speck. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a round of applause for all their service and commitment to Riverside Brookfield High School. To the class of 2012, this is a special day. You have worked hard to achieve your high school diploma, and you should be very proud. Parents and guardians of the graduates, you have worked very hard to make sure they achieve this diploma. You have guided, supported, and provided these students with opportunities to reach this milestone. Students, let's take a moment to recognize your parents, guardians, and all those individuals who have helped you get here tonight. Graduates, the Board of Education and I are very proud of your accomplishments while at RB. From the moment you stepped into this esteemed school, you have embarked on a journey that led you to this day and to the path that leads you to the rest of your life. Encountering stumbling blocks and stepping stones along the way, you have prevailed with guidance from your faculty and from your family to reach the culmination of your high school career. After today, you will move on to the next level of your education or to a profession. I wish you success and happiness and remind you to always remember your years and experience at Riverside Brookfield High School. At this time, I would like to invite up Ms. Julie Ann Sidney, the President of the Student Association Executive Board.
Class of 2012, today is a day that may very well be an event we will remember forever. And while the overbearing emotion may be washed away over the next few years, you will remember this day. You will recall the stage, the smiles, the cameras, and of course the gifts. But as time goes by, your life will continue to change. Your best friend won't just be 2 blocks away anymore, but instead will be what seems like 1,000 miles away. Portillo's will be a rare sighting, a place you may see when coming home for break. There will be many different changes ahead of us, but I can assure you that with the help not only given from our parents, but also the teachers here at RB, we are headed in the right direction. Your parents may no longer be there to make your PB&J sandwich without the crust, or to call you in late to school because you still have homework to finish or you have a test you want to skip. You'll now have to learn fiscal responsibility, how to allocate your time appropriately, and maybe throw a load of laundry in the wash every once in a while. I think I can speak for the majority of the class when I say the first day of freshman year was one of the scariest days of our lives. We were in a new, unfamiliar environment, and we had to learn to adapt. We were quick to learn that high school is no walk in the park. With the countless numbers of quizzes and tests, not to mention the numerous Jamba Juice and bake sale fundraisers, both our minds and wallets were drawing a blank. Even though high school may not have been an academic challenge for many, we all managed to make it here today. The many things we've learned throughout our high school career will impact the choices we make and the friends we take. We've all made mistakes in high school, some little, some big, but as Hannah Montana would say, everyone makes mistakes, everyone has those days. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. Everybody gets that way. However, even with those mistakes, we will always remember the good times we've had here at RB and the great friendships we've made. The teachers that have impacted our lives and the experiences that have changed us forever will always be with us. Class of 2012, I just want you to know, once a bulldog, always a bulldog. And remember, character does count. Next speaking is the senior class president, Elena Duvey.
Board of Education, faculty, staff, family, friends, and classmates. It's been a fun yet challenging 4 years, and tonight we are finally graduating. Our class has achieved many accomplishments here, intellectually, musically, artistically, and athletically. These past 4 years have flown by, and it's incredible how fast it goes. RB has done so much for us. We may be leaving the school tonight and going our separate ways. However, for all RB has done for us, we want to give something back to this great school. It is with great pride that we are donating some of our class money to help pay for the new marquee that's going to be put in front of the school during the summer. Additionally, we've donated the remainder of our class money to the Sustainability Garden to cover the cost of the 39 different flowers and vegetables for the 15 flower beds. One of these beds will be marked donated by the class of 2012, and another will be in memory of Frank Chappelle, who's a building custodian and a friend to all. And let's welcome back Dr. Sinkus back to the podium.
At this time, we're going to recognize the top 10 for the class of 2012. It's an RB tradition that we name our top 10 students in alphabetical order, not rank order. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me and save your applause to the end for the top 10 students of the class of 2012. Students, as your name is called, please rise and come forward to Ms. Bilesma to receive your medal. Emily Andrulis. Molly Cheney. Lauren Heddish. Jonathan Kingzette. I believe Jonathan is at the state track meet. Kelly Kramer. Kovas Kubis. Dovas Liatuninkas. Margaret McLaughlin. Aaron Perfect. Kyle Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, these students have worked very hard. Let's recognize the top 10 for the class of 2012. Next, I'd like to call up Emily to present the senior address.
Graduation Day is a momentous occasion. Closing the chapter of our high school careers, Graduation Day marks a significant change in our lives as we venture away from high school and step fully into a world of independence. It's a big day. Standing here on this stage, in front of all my fellow peers and our beloved friends and family, about to receive my diploma, slightly nervous, while still eager to move forward into the next stage of my life, I'm reminded of a day that was similar in its importance. Although, instead of a significant ending, this day marked a beginning. It was my first day of kindergarten. Sunshine and smiles is what I remember of the walk to school that bright morning. But as I held my mother's hand, I was not slightly nervous, but instead scared out of my wits. A set schedule, strict instructions, and a scene full of students all succumbing to the teacher's request was something that was completely foreign to me. Still, I soaked in the novelties of the educational world, and I made it through my first day. What struck me most that day, though, was not something I encountered at school or in the classroom. What I remember most clearly about that day was coming home and seeing the high schoolers from next door return to their homes at the same time. Freshly educated, we both wore our backpacks proudly, and together we shared the same mission: to flee from this place of instruction and reach our humble abodes once more. We had more in common than most strangers, but in my 5-year-old mind, I saw no similarities between myself and these grand giants. As they towered over me, I gazed up at them, and I was struck with astonishment. To my innocent, not yet 6-year-old eyes, these adults, called kids, were like mythical creatures. Moving with grace and confidence, they held their books nonchalantly and chatted idly with their companions. Calm, cool, and collected, they were the masters, the pros, at schooling, and in my eyes, at life. It was obvious to me that they were adults. They didn't need to hold their mom's hand. They could cross the street on their own. They had their own friends. They made their own plans. They worked, they drove, they could even vote. I was incredulous that the other adults would still try to label them as kids and try to lump them in the same category as me. Since they did, these creatures were relieved of all the responsibilities of a true adult, such as caring for the little ones, working all the time, or cleaning the whole house. But they still received the main freedoms associated with the older world that was so alien to me. This combination made the teens I saw seem like gods.
They were composed, charismatic, sensible, and most importantly, they seemed powerful. It was their inherent power that I so adored long ago. Thinking back to that day, I remember what it felt like to look up and admire those young adults that served as my role models. Now I look around, and I see an assortment of different students, all with that same power I so revered long ago. Yes, now we, the class of 2012, are the ones with the power. We are on the cusp of greatness, eagerly awaiting our chance to go out into the world and make something of our lives. Throughout these past 4 years, we've all learned the skills we need to go forth and take advantage of all the opportunities that lie before us. The position we're in today has been achieved through a journey of experiences we went through during our high school career. Some of the events were very full of joy and happiness, while others were trying tribulations. But we're standing here today, and all that has challenged us during these last 4 years has passed, and we have become only stronger for not only surviving, but prevailing in the face of every stressful situation that has been presented to us. But we must remember that the burdens we've had to bear were not ours alone, and becoming this powerful has been achieved only through a process that would not have been possible without the network of friends, family, and community members who worked to help us aiding our goals and making them possible efficiently and effectively every step of the way. First off, we've had our friends. We all know what it's like to have those best friends who are willing to lend a hand and do anything to keep us smiling through all the obstacles life puts before us. They're the ones we call when we just feel like we can't handle it anymore. And they're the ones who can cheer us up when we feel like everything in the world is all wrong. We owe them gratitude for the emotional stability and the happiness they brought into our lives in these past 4 years. Then we have the teachers. Going through high school, students tend to label the teachers as the good teachers or the bad teachers. But what most people don't realize is that there really are no such thing as bad teachers, but rather teachers that challenge us in different ways, preparing us for different aspects of our life. And all the teachers we've encountered at RB deserve our deepest appreciation for all they've done for us, both inside and out of the classroom. Most importantly, in our lives, we all have those people who are there for us every day, morning, noon, and night. They are our family members, our guardians, mom and dad. Volunteering their times to drive us to school and all over town, coming to our competitions, encouraging us at all of our events, cooking for us, cleaning for us, doing it all with a smile on their face, just because they love us. They're the ones we owe the most thanks to. So now, I turn to my peers and ask you to do me one final favor, to wrap up our high school experience. I'm well aware that it can be a very difficult task, but it's of the utmost importance. I ask that you all take the time after we receive our diploma and walk across that stage to finally thank the people in our lives who have got us this far and made us who we are today. So now, here I am, saying thank you to all the people who've worked so avidly in the past to make me who I am today, and to help me, and who will stay continuing supporting me in the future. Because this is not the end for us, or for any of us. Sometimes it's hard to see from our own perspective how much potential we truly possess. But if we take a step back and see it through the eyes of a kindergartner, we can see how truly powerful we are. Now it's up to us to take that power and wield it effectively in all our future endeavors. So now I present to you my friend and classmate, Joe Sauer, to talk to you more about our future and how we can make the most of it.
I am honored to be chosen to speak on behalf of the graduating class of 2012 at Riverside Brookfield High School. Teachers, students, parents, friends, and family, I would like to thank all of you here with me today. You are all on this podium with me. With that said, I'd like to start with an anecdote, because I believe with stories, we as people get to know each other better. One of my main goals in life was to become an Eagle Scout. Only 2% of boys that join Boy Scouts actually become Eagle Scouts. And when I was 7 years old, I set a goal for myself to be part of that 2%. Along the way, many different challenges presented themselves to me, and one by one, day by day, I conquered and rose up the ladder of scouting. I learned a lot along the way. I developed my leadership skills, and I realized I was becoming a role model to other scouts and a leader to the people around me. I was prepared to become part of the most prestigious percent of 2% of scouts. I received my Eagle Scout in November of 2011, just a couple of days before the absolute deadline. For some reason, though, I didn't feel as complete or as accomplished as I should have. All of my years spent in scouting had come to this peak, but the story had not ended. My career as a scout was not complete. Then the words came echoing back to me from previous Eagle ceremonies. Give back to scouting more than it is given to you. Suddenly, I understood that becoming an Eagle Scout was not the end. It was only just the beginning. I had found that the journey was more enjoyable and fulfilling than the actual award. The peak that I had perceived had only just been a platform to another level of scouting. Another journey had arisen before me. Truly, this is what is happening to us here at RB today. As we graduate and move on from RB onto a college or onto a job, into a world that is willing and able to receive us. Our accomplishments at RB are in great multitude and esteem, but the journey is not yet over, and we are not ready to graduate from our lives. Here at Riverside Brookfield, we've learned many things, even though some people fail to realize how much of an influence RB has had on them. It is clear to everyone else that it has been just that. How many of us knew how to skillfully play an instrument or use our bodies to form artistic messages before we came to RB? How many of us learned how to play a sport or found an interest that we could have never imagined? Riverside Brookfield has become a part of who we are, and we should recognize this. However, the journey is just beginning. Riverside Brookfield is a part of us all, but as we move on from RB, I urge you to listen to what I have to say. Throughout our education at RB, a few things have become apparent to me. I'd like to share with you these ideas. In one way, I am going to give back to my school more than is given to me. I challenge you to never become discouraged by your dreams. A dream is never too big to come true. Like I said, when I was a kid, one of my goals was to become an Eagle Scout. I imagined myself already at the ceremony, receiving my award. It sounds romanticized, but I have found with even small goals, it is easier to accomplish them once you can imagine yourself succeeding. When imagining yourself succeeding, don't just settle for mediocre, like becoming an owner of a brand new Mini Cooper. Really imagine yourself doing something extraordinary. Be the new Bill Gates, the new Michael Jordan, or the new Henry Ford in the world. Imagine yourself as the person you idealize in the situation you want to be in, and one day you will find yourself there. I also urge you to act on what you want. It's one thing to sit back and imagine a future where you're successful. It's another thing to go out and actually get it done. I've never understood the concept of laziness, and I've understood less the concept of complaining of your laziness. A runoff of this idea is that complaining gets you nowhere. It's your life. Go out and shape it any way you'd like. The only thing is, you are the only one that is going to go and do that for you. I understand that this has probably been said to you, but emphasizing it right now is important. Most people I've met think that hard work pays off, but saying it is much different than actually doing it. It might make for a good tweet, but actually putting it into practice is key. So get out and do something. I urge you to be kind to everyone you meet from this point onward. Relationships start shaping and forming right now. People are going to remember you for years to come, so make it count. Down the road, when you need help, these people that you stood by in your past will be by your side. To be successful, you have to surround yourself with successful people. People flock to kindness and helpful people. So be kind, and success will surround your life. What goes along with kindness is listening. It is a very valuable thing to always listen. I learned quickly at RB that people really like it when you call them by their real name. This is a very easy way to make people feel appreciated, and when you are past learning their name, you can listen for other things too. While listening, always listen to advice. In my mind, there is no such thing as bad advice. Everyone looks at life differently, and there are people much smarter and wiser than us in this world. If you were kind to them at one point, maybe they are kind enough to give you advice. It is all starting to add up now, hopefully. Most importantly, at the end of the day, without integrity, we are nothing. Integrity is who we are and what we stand for, our values, our thoughts, and our beliefs. Stand for something greater than yourself. If that thing is right, then it should and can be fought for. If it is wrong, it should be put aside. Integrity cannot be taught in just a day. It has been forming over the past 4 years from our community of character here at RB. The teachers and the faculty have succeeded not only in teaching young minds, but also in growing our integrity. As we move on from high school, it is important to find your passion. For those of you who have not already found your passion, put yourself in situations where you have the opportunity. Live your life trying something new every day, and eventually, that one thing, your passion, will become your life. Graduation is upon us today. The mountain we have climbed for most of our lives is summited. We have succeeded. Take a few days off, celebrate your accomplishments, and bask in your glory. The new platform that we now see is welcoming us into the real world, and it's more than ready to receive us. I'm going to end with something very influential that Steve Jobs said that would apply to us right now. We all know who Steve Jobs is. The inventor of this great creation. His words should guide us on the path of our new journey. During a commencement speech to the graduating class of Stanford, Steve Jobs said, "Stay hungry, stay foolish." This is my wish to you. Keep your mind open and appease your thirst for knowledge. Also stay foolish enough to take risks, for these risks may end up benefiting you immensely. Stay hungry, stay foolish. Thank you. At this time, I would now like to introduce the Riverside Brookfield Choir.
I'll be your bridge or troubled water. When you're down, I will carry you like a bridge or troubled water. I will lay me down. When you're weary
Thank you, Madrigals, Chamber Choir, and Mrs. Diane Morelli. That was beautifully done, and such a good message for us to hear tonight. Honored members of the Cook County District 208 School Board and proud guests, as the instructional leader of Riverside Brookfield High School, it is my task and my pleasure to officially present to you the 104th graduating class of District 208, the class of 2012. What an exceptional group of young men and young women this is. You see, their senior year wasn't the easiest for a young person to face. Confronted with budget cuts that impacted their class sizes, course offerings, and extracurricular opportunities, they were forced in their last year to adjust to changes in their high school. When I spoke to this group the first week of school, I told them not to be overwhelmed, bitter, or defeatist. I challenged them to focus on what they could control, their actions and their attitude. Find your voice, I urged them. Stay positive, speak up, be part of the solution. Quoting Gandhi, I said, "You must be the change you wish to see in the world." Well, if this year was any indication of what they can do in the future, then we adults need not be concerned, for this group made the most of their senior year, demonstrating energy, ingenuity, tenacity, and spirit. They stayed involved in school and continued to excel, winning numerous competitions and awards in academics, activities, and the arts, as well as accomplishing an impressive list of individual and group records in a variety of sports. Many of the seniors you see in front of you will not be finished when they graduate tonight. Our baseball and softball teams will be playing tomorrow in the regional title competitions, and our boys track team is currently in Charleston at the state track and field event. Let's pause to acknowledge our seniors who are missing tonight: Alex Huffines, John Kingzette, Chris Ziagua, and Travis Treviso, who, by the way, qualified today for state finals tomorrow in the 800 meters. Academically, the members of 2012 pushed themselves, taking challenge of rigorous classes and working hard right up to the last day, which was today. 250 of the students sitting before you were honored at Senior Awards Night for reaching excellence on the school, the state, and the national level. With what's been reported to us thus far, and this number will grow, this class has been offered $3,184,124 in scholarship money. Of the students sitting before you, 5 are ready to enter directly into the workforce after they graduate tonight, while 9 others are due our deep appreciation for joining the military to serve our country. The rest of the students will branch off across the United States to 271 different colleges and universities, and that is certainly an impressive set of statistics. While these accomplishments are worthy of boasting about, they are not what I am most impressed with. It was the way these students set a positive tone for the school year and for the younger students. A senior class can have a profound impact, for good or for bad, on a school's culture. Rest assured that this group had a positive influence on our school. Students stepped up to resolve challenges. They contributed more than what has been required of students in the past and showed inspirational heart and kindness by supporting each other's events, by volunteering endlessly to serve others, by showing intense school spirit, and by embracing all students as full members of this school. The class of 2012 truly is special and should be recognized as such. Students, while I'm confident that you are ready for this next phase of your life, I really need to be honest with you. I wish I could tell you that life would get easier in college, that cyberbullying and insensitivity will disappear, that miraculously everyone around you will be mature and loyal, and that moving beyond high school will lead to a life free of social complexities or interpersonal drama. Alas, nothing could be further from the truth. That's why, students, over the past 2 years I've been with you, I've shared advice and strategies on how you could respond to life's challenges, not high school's challenges, life's challenges. I've told you that it has been professionally and personally helpful to me to attempt to live up to the 6 ethical pillars of character counts: trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, and citizenship. I've encouraged to use these or your own set of ethical values to guide your decision making. Now comes the time in the speech when I'm going to give you a little advice, so bear with me. I shared this last year and was asked by someone to repeat it to your class, so here it is. Being a person of good character when life is going your way is easy. Actually, it's a breeze. Being a person of good character at all times, now that's where the challenge comes in. After high school, when you're on your own, independent from parents, and free from the constant influence of teachers and occasional interference by administrators, your challenge will be to remain steadfastly a person of good character precisely at those moments when it is most difficult at all. Maturity, you will discover, comes not from following the crowd, but from making good choices that adhere to your core ethical values. Those values that define you will be tested most at times when you are confronted with tough ethical choices, when you find yourself out of control in some aspect of your life, or when you face temptations. Your true character is revealed in challenging times when events don't go your way, when you don't win the big game, when you're encouraged to do something dangerous by others or something insensitive, when you lose an argument you feel really, really passionate about, or when you fall victim to someone's unfair or unethical treatment, or when you experience the pain of exclusion, ridicule, or worse yet, prejudice. Who will you be at those defining moments? Will that event define you? Will your adversary change your nature? Will you be weak and give in to temptation? Will you become bitter, mean-spirited, petty, unforgiving, or apathetic? Or will you hold true to the definition of yourself that you've worked so long and so hard to consciously create? Will you be able to ward off the 2 threats to your good character, impulsivity and ego, and instead take some time to consider the implications of your choices? In order to transcend whatever challenge you will face in the future, ask yourselves at that moment in time, who defines me? If you answer with a resounding, I do, then remind yourself of the values you hold dear and let those values guide your choices. In conclusion, class of 2012, it has been my profound honor to have shared the past 2 years with you. You are wonderful people. You are connected to us forever, each of you a single link in our long, unbreakable bulldog chain. My deepest congratulations go out to you and to your families. I wish you the brightest future possible. Thank you. At this time, it is my distinct privilege to present the class of 2012. Distinguished members of the Board of Education, I hereby certify that the seniors present here tonight have completed all graduation requirements mandated by the state of Illinois and by District 208, and as such, are eligible to have their diplomas awarded to them. Class of 2012, you may now present yourself to receive your diplomas. Please welcome to the podium Assistant Principal Mr. John Passarella, who has the honor of reading the names of our graduating seniors.
Mary Carol McGovern and Daniel James McGovern. Carmen Joe Shelbrack. Corey Michael Wilkerson, Michael Joseph Abaticola. Rachel Ann Ackerman. Rick C. Adami. Elwin Alagic. Dylan Spencer Alarcon. Esmeralda Albaran. Vilia Andrea Alexa. Edgar Alfaro. Renata Jacqueline Alvarez. Emily Luis Andrulis. Melissa Marie Areza. Alfonso Arias. Natalie Ariza. Colton Griffin Arnold. Shanga Eric Augustus. Oscar Baez II. Jeremy Adam Bayaki. Tiffany Tiara Barrientos. Jennifer Sue Bartlett. Bryce Douglas Bartlett. Blake Edward Beck. William Pierce Becker. Dylan Beketic. Jacob Daniel Bergman. Reno James Burnell. Carla Emmanuel Bly. Alexander Boyevich. Caitlin Marie Boxell. Gianna Marie Brada. Bridget Mary Brewer. Brian Robert Brown. Ryan Michael Brown. Haley Paige Buntrock. Alina Ellen Bistritsky. Antoine Christopher Caldwell. Brandon Campillo. Michael Anthony Capizzi. Daniel Paul Carberry Jr. Alexis Mary Therese Carter. Kenneth R. Castle. Kayla Renee Cerny. Jacqueline Claire Cervenka. Thomas Richard Cervenka. Molly Margaret Cheney. Adam Chaudhry. Diana Isabel Chavez. Ruben Chavez. Claire Elizabeth Childers. Jamie Dylan Christopher. Khalil Cameron Clay. Alexandria May Cleveland. Colleen Mary Cody. Peter James Cassadine. Heather Lynn Conway. John Patrick Kopp. Rachel McKenna Corcoran. Casey Ryan Creedon. Victoria Ashley Curtin. Jordan Christopher Doms. Christina Marie Daly. Kimberly Lynn Dawood. Antonio De La Torre. Sean Christopher DeMuro. Sarah Elizabeth Devereaux. Adil Di Bartolomeo. Nicholas Robert Diaz. Nicholas Ernesto Diaz. Ryder Andrew Dickinson. Joseph Louis DeMarco. Meredith Margaret DiVittorio. Colleen M. Doherty. Maximilian Alexander Dorsey. John Aaron Douglas. Tierney Ann Duffy. Christopher David Duplasich. Andrew Duran. Elena Suzanne Duvey. Jasmine Alyssa Elliott. Gladys Vanessa Enriquez. Justine Marie Esposito. Connor Martin Fagan. Brian Fay. Frankie Favela. Dolores Faranek. Nina Marie Ferreira. Jacob Alexander Flincham. Cynthia Amadani Flores. Marika Joanna Floros. Megan Grace Fry. Mitchell Allen Forsberg. Samantha Marie Friend. Elaine Michelle Gabrick. You got it. Ethan John Gallegos. Emily Elise Gara. Karina Inez Garcia. Kevin Michael Garcia. Natalie Petra Garza. Randy Christopher Garza. Sarah Jane Gambara. Annalise Nicole Gibson. Abby Gomez de la Casa. Christian Gomez. Talea Gonzalez. Ariana Gonzalez. William Patrick Grant. Richard Victor Green. Jamian Sean Griggs. Andrea E. Guelphy. Richard William Guerreri. Juan Carlos Gunther. Jordan John Guzzi. Excuse me, Guzzi. Sorry. Alexander James Grumman. Derek Stephen Hagan. Andrew James Hanley. Brendan Patrick Hanrahan. Robert Sylvester Hansen. Morella Marie Harrington. Mary Elizabeth Hare. Amanda Rose Hana. Mara Rose Henk. Jessica Hernandez Alvarado. Leela Grace Hernandez. Nicholas Moises Hernandez. Lauren M. Heddish. Alante Duttrell Hill. Jane L. Holmes. Brett Jonathan Hoyd. Maurice Javier Hubbard. Jessica Ann Eubner. Jamal Issa. Brittany Ann Janney. Myron Antonio Jefferson. Aaron Miguel Jimenez. Natalie Marie Jimenez. Caitlin Renee Casper. Mary Catherine Kearney. Daniel Kelleher. Jackson Faze Kemper. Mary Etta Kemper. Nicole Danielle Kimmett. Rachel Marie Konopaz. Kelly Elizabeth Kramer. Brianne Lynn Kreis. Jordan Michelle Crikey. Kara Ann Cruz. Kovas Kubis. Joshua Joseph Curis. Adam Michael Kuda. Jennifer Luis LaGreco. Josh Paul Landau. Elizabeth Elaine Larson. Nicholas Charles Lazara. Dovas Liatuvninkes. Damian Christian Lira. Caitlin Rose Likovic. Konstantin Vlasis Likaresis. Catherine Taylor Linhart. Jonathan Albert Logley. Richard L. Lopez. Sandra Giselle Lopez. Kristen Lorraine Lubis. Jacob Joseph Lugay. Sang Lee. Matthew Anthony Madrigal. Rebecca K. Mantell. Max Gregory Marciniak. Louis William Marino. Ramiro E. Mariquin. Jose Martin Villalobos. Mario J. Martinez. Sanina Geneva Mason. Peter James May. Seamus Peter McCann. Jack Nicholas McCarthy. Matthew John McKevitt. Margaret Rose McLaughlin. Maria Concepcion Medina. Joseph Christopher Malone. Tomas Menchaca. Fabian Mendez. Elizabeth Mesa. Eric Andrew Mickish. Peter Joseph McCullochey. Grace Elizabeth Mickus. Grace Elizabeth Mickus. John David Miller.
My name is Kira.
Kira Elise Miller. Nicholas J. Mizarowski. Donald Monroe. Ross Benjamin Jared Moon. Grace Elizabeth Moore. Natalie Nicole Moore. Dominic Daniel Marisi. Joseph Anthony Mulhern. Jacob Enrique Munoz. Madeline Claire Montiel. Mark Lawrence Musial. Dan Naskowski. Ryan Thomas Negley. Andrew Christopher Nelms. Mark Milan Nanadovich. Sarah Elizabeth Nye. Luke Michael Nortier. Nicole Alexis Munoz. Kylie Catherine O'Connell. Blake Patrick O'Day. Max James Ole. Kimberly Taylor Oliva. Megan Joan Orgler. Paige Orozco. Sarah Jane Atmansky.
Miss my middle name. Marilyn Dilcia. Marilyn Dilcia. I need.
Christina Madeline Dilcia Ori. Jacob Lawrence Polka. Jamie Lynn Payne. Andrew Martin Luther Payton. Danielle Nicole Pico. Mario Palayo. Marissa Palayo. Nina Therese Pellizzari. Abigail Perez Gonzalez. Aaron Matthew Perfect. Kyle Thomas Perfect. Abigail Elizabeth Perry. Donald William Pincus Jr. Alyssa P. Potest. Catherine Emily Potter. Timothy Reppy Potts. William Gilbert Potts. Tyler John Predico Floros. Madison Sinclair Powers. Samantha Michelle Press. Rebecca Claire Pruitt. Leah Janelle Purdy. Alexander John Radikanen. Celestina Nicole Redonio. Brenda Yvette Ramirez. Kevin Hector Ramirez. Gabriel Eduardo Ramos. Rachel Ramos. Tatiana Andrea Reeves. Nady M. Reyes. Corey Robert Reynolds. Alexis Marie Richter. Kristen Elizabeth Ripley. Alexis Noemi Rivera. Rachel Ann Ricconi. Ashley Rowland. Jeremy R. Rallowitz. Tatiano Natividad Roman. Christian R. Romero. Leandro Jose Romo. Hannah Malin Ropo. Ramon Rosa. Kylie Rose Russin. Rachel Ann Ruzicki. Cordelia Saavedra. Anthony Gerard Sacco. Grace Jeanette Salerno. Danielle Sanchez. Mariah Sandoval. Vincent Nicholas Sandrick. Kristen Elizabeth Santoro. Gina Sofia Sapienza. Joseph David Sauer. Haley Anna Skaman. Samantha Ann Shelthoff. Zachary Joseph Sherrick. Zachary Earl Chanel. Ashley Nicole Swanderlick. Nicholas Julius Siana. Joseph Stephen Scamasi. William H. Shamrock. Shelton Elliott Sharkey. Hannah Marie Simons. Julianne Marie Cindy. Lauren Elizabeth Sloan. Kevin A. Smaller. Andrew Edward Smith. Patrick Wesley Smith. Ryan Jeffrey Smith. Paolo Antonio Spizal. No. Courtney Rose Spyrick. Amanda Marie Stam. Thomas Michael Staskny. Steve Carl Stavash. Max Alexander Steinberg. Kelsey Marie Styrick. Michael Stefan Stoklosa. George Glenn Suki. Carly Elena Supernaw. Andrew Philip Suzuki. Taylor Marie Sweeney. Mark Darrell Swift. Saba Naz Sayed. Zachary Thomas Tarrant. Zdravko Tepik. Tyler Anthony Torres. Jesse Lynn Turner. Marcus Robert Tominski. Erin Elizabeth Yelanowitz. Mateo Uribe. Alexandra Vandermerk. Tadas Yuazas Veronekis. Francisco Javier Vargas Jr. Victoria Catherine Varga. Louis Alexander Verdon. Elvaro Villalobos. David Jesus Villagomez. Taylor Nicole Vogel. Lorelei Nancy Volpe. Megan Elizabeth Walson. James Robert Wong. Katrina Andrea Wazak. Evan Mitchell Waterloo. Cameron Michael Weber. Sam Elliott Weiss. Lauren Winky. Jessica Tamara Williams. Abigail Rose Willinger. Robert Wayne Yankee. Maria Ulanova. Trevor Owen Zaremba. Valerie Lynn Ziegler. These two students we're honored to have. They are part of a foreign exchange program, and so I'd like to welcome them to RB and congratulate them on their accomplishments this year. It's been an honor to have them in our building and to learn from them. And it wasn't important. Jacob Eckhart. Oh my gosh. Where's Mr. Moon? Adrian Foucault.
Okay, graduates, remember, we're going to wait for our last person to sit down so he can participate. Remember what I told you we're going to do? The last thing you're going to do is a class together. Okay, we're almost ready. He's getting there. You're going to take your right hand and you're going to grasp your tassel, and then you're going to move it across when I say, on the count of 3, all in unison, and then at the count of 3 when you do it, you're all alums of RB. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations.